So earlier we made a cylinder. I want to show you guys a little different thing. It's called making a bowl. So same type of thing. You wet this down, stay centered right over the top. I like to clean this off. I like it to be damp. Some people want it to be dry. It's up to you. The main thing is this right here does not get wet. Aim for the center, toss it down. There's a little bit more clay, so sometimes it's trickier for some people to center. This is how I center. There's a million ways. If you look at other people's work out there, they'll show you, but create a slick. Keep your body locked in. This arm's locked in solid. I'm gonna push in with this hand, squeeze with this hand, squeeze it together, and form that shape there. From this position here, I wanna clean up any of this mess that's down here. Now, I'm gonna literally bend this over, push this down. Same thing as before, it's this fist here. I'm using about 2.5 pounds of clay, somewhere in there. I forgot, I think I did 2.5, I'm not sure. Right now, you can see how I have this little concavey dealy wheelie there. That's not any fun. So, I simply just push in a little bit on the top with this hand. Now I'm gonna push down to this. And that's how I get this centered. I aim for making this about the size of a cottage cheese container or yogurt container. You know, one of those ones you get from Hannaford or wherever you go shopping. Something around that big around, something like that's what I'm aiming for. So once I have that, same thing as before, I find the middle. And I'm gonna stay on my side of the middle. So far everything's exactly the same, just a little bit more clay. Hold this steady. Go right here, stay on my side of the center. When I get near the bottom, I flip that away. I just kind of threw that off a little bit. I think I went a little too fast, but that's okay. I'll center it up here in a second. Wet that down. Hold this steady here. Now this is the difference. Remember before I pulled across straight, we went in a straight line. But this time what I'm doing is I'm actually lifting up the clay. I'm gonna hold steady here and watch. This clay is gonna rise and I'm making a bowl shape by literally coming up with my hands, not across. I'm coming up. I said across. I don't know, there's a T at the end of across, but for some reason when I talk there is. So I hold here and look how I'm coming up in a bowl shape and I hold my left hand still. So if you look inside, which is different than the other piece that we were doing, this actually looks like a bowl on the inside. And this is my way for making a bowl. There's probably a gazillion people who are smarter and better at it than I am, but this is the way I teach it. So I have a bowl shape here. I make the same indent as before. Now if we remember the last time when we made something, we held here, we lifted up, we squeezed and we lifted up. The difference with this is I'm actually gonna grab the clay and slightly pull out over the top of this hand, and then I'm gonna curve this hand to bring this hand back over the top again. So I'm kind of making like a C. It's a little difficult, maybe that was confusing, but hopefully you can see it. So see how wide I am with my hands in there. So from there, I squeeze, and I'm pushing with my outside hand, and now I'm pulling out, and then now notice I'm actually coming back in again. When I get to the top, I release pressure and I compress. So if you notice, the inside really has a bowl type look. I make that indent on the outside, wet this down if I need to, hands in here, I slide out, and then I slightly come up and actually back in again. There's a million types of bowls you can make. I like to pay attention to that the outside does not get frayed through centrifugal force. So notice that the wheel's a good bit slower. The last thing I do is I use my rib. I hold this out here. I clean the outside line. Now I can do whatever I want. The important thing though isn't the outside with a bowl. The important thing in my opinion is the inside. It's just like you and I, what's inside matters. Outside isn't as important, just focus on the inside. Later we'll dress ourselves up really nice with the outside when we trim, but right now it's the inside that's important. Make it pretty, make it bowl shape, and that's how I would make a bowl right there.